Namaste, angels. I'm going to do a client reading. This one will be a 1 hour client reading for, it is a repeat client. I've read for her at least one other time. Beginning here with the energy of healing sounds. Came up quite a few times, actually. And opening to the mystic. There may be air and or water signs available. Involved. I don't know why I said available. Involved here, because we have the energy of water in both of these, and then also air in this one, particularly the sign of Aquarius, with the star being here at the center of her forehead, above her third eye. The star in the tarot represents the sign of Aquarius. The mystic, similar to the high priestess, that it is about paying attention to one's intuition, following the guidance received. The healing sounds could be a mechanism for receiving that guidance through some sort of guided meditation or binaural tones, or just sitting quietly and listening to yourself and the universe, the sounds around you, your favorite genre of music, whatever brings you to a place of peace and zen, do that. All right. I was opening to here, physical body. They're both representative of fire sign energy, the same colors here, the burnt orange, the red, the yellow. Golden memories is about the need to let go of things from, a lot of times it's like negative emotions from the past. I mean, it can be any sort of person, place, or thing really that you're holding on to that you can't take with you into your future. It just doesn't belong, it doesn't align, it doesn't vibe. But it often is not necessarily something tangible that you hold in your hand, but something that you're holding with you emotionally and on your soul, connected to old cords of attachment, or negative emotions like resentment, regret. The inability to forgive comes up quite a bit. Just old pain, hurt, ego, pride, physical body. Has been coming up a lot too lately, and feeling very literal in most cases, having like connected to the need for exercise, opposite healing sounds. It could be some sort of yoga, a dance, or something that you should do. Healing sounds and answer prayer with, again, the energy of both water and air, and to be more specific, Scorpio and Aquarius, but it could be any sign, of course, but these two opposite one another. Again, a lot of water, a lot of air. Answer prayer. Okay. Answer prayer is pretty straightforward. That's what it's about. Prayers being answered, wishes coming true, being granted, dreams coming true, intentions and manifestations being fulfilled. There's more indication of the need for healing and meditation. Overall energy is here is golden path, which is about like remaining on track, and an indication that you thus far are doing that. The whole card is like an illustration of the Wizard of Oz for me, beginning here with these, like this forest and these rainbow colors. And see the colors of the rainbow here. The theme song of the Wizard of Oz, of course, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And then here, this yellow path. It's, well, this golden path, the yellow brick road. At the purpose of going down the yellow brick road, or why they were doing it, what the whole movie was about, was so that they can get to the end of the road where the Emerald City was. And for me, at the end of the golden path is the Emerald Ray. That's the ray of healing and restoration. That's where Archangel Raphael reigns. You might see some ascended masters there. Jesus, of course, right? Healer of the ages of all time. Those sort of beings. Waiting, at the end to cheer you on. Divine Feminine. The masculine about the feminine. About himself and the union as a whole. I was thinking about another spread that I was going to do, but let's see what the outcome of this is first. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine do here, what he himself is willing to toward this union, what the universe would have the two to do for the union, and what the universe would be very happy to help them with as well, is waiting to help them with, and the outcome. Divine feminine reflection. So you might be the person who came through with the fire energy, who has the baggage to drop, and it's like something that it's urgent, like get rid of it before it burns a hole in your hand. That's how you have to think of it, like you've been holding on to this thing too long. You're gonna look behind, look around at your present, like what from your past is missing from it maybe, or that you shouldn't have brought with you, and then looking ahead, do you have everything you need for that? What should you leave behind? What should you take? So that's what you meant to work on with the masculine as it relates to the feminine. Likely seeing you in his dreams, and maybe like the cliche, like the woman of his dreams, showing up with the dreams card here. And it's more of this very watery, these watery colors as well. The masculine about himself is the fire, transmutation. So taking some of those negative emotions and cords of attachment, the things that I discussed when I held up the was it Golden Memories card, taking those sorts of emotions and turning them into something positive, like love actually, so that they can be useful in helping to propel us to move forward and to ascend. You see, she's being propelled upward by having released those things. She's made lighter, like almost literally, and you rise when that happens. And the union as a whole, sorrow. Interesting. Sorrow. I'm not sure I've ever had that card in this placement before. Overall, transience and the need for healing again, perhaps of the whole union. What the masculine would have the feminine do toward this union. Soulmate. Okay. Well, that's beautiful, particularly in the placement. Soulmate. Very nice. All right. So he wants you to know that. What is he himself willing to? It's this really strong energy of healing. This is like a matching set. The need for it from head to toe. This card is, for me, it's a lot like temperance in the traditional tarot, which represents the sign of Sagittarius, but looks like, at least in my eyes, or with my eyes, it would be representative of the sign of Aquarius, because it's always like an angel or some sort of divine looking being standing in a pool of water with these vessels in their hand. It looks like a water bearer. And the card is about the need, like the universe stepping in to help to make you like whole, and to restore you where there was lack, where there was like broken heart, right? Where there were breaks, where there were holes, where there was lack, where there was the feelings of emptiness and whatever, like to just restore all those things and to help you to recover, sending a very healing and karmic energy to you to do that. But the two of you, and perhaps particularly the masculine, could probably use some sort of additional healing or energy healing or something. Will the universe have the two of you to do? Physical body, and it is to work on yourselves. It is to work on yourselves. And again, like yoga, and you don't have to do yoga if you're not into it, but that's just one of the things that's sort of like a cross between exercise and meditation. Like it helps to restore people's zen. And that's like the sort of thing you need. There's other ways. Again, I'm feeling, especially the masculine, probably gonna, should look into. I don't know how you would let him know that, because I'm not even saying like you have to get it from me. You can, and if you do, you don't have to tell him, because what I do is not. It's a lot of prayer and intercession, and that's not the sort of thing we need permission for. We can pray, of the light over anybody or for anybody. It's when you want to do other stuff that involves manipulation, even if you claim it's for good, that permission is required. That's why the devil needs like permission to enter, and sometimes we give that subconsciously. In any case, there's work to be done on both parties, but I'm just feeling really. I wish I could find the word for the masculine specifically. I think the new moon will bring some healing naturally on its own, and that's probably what this is representing. Like this healing that's going to come from the universe that you have to be open to and in a position of vulnerability for, probably come with the new moon. The outcome. Listening. And it's another indication of the need for meditation and like finding a place of peace. This restoration, this Zen, it ties into this too. But this is also about actually receiving guidance from the universe. So you may receive that. Like you might not have to only hear it from me. You may feel a push to do a little something more in the area of like your well-being, like your emotional and spiritual health. It's giving me like I don't know, it's like a unsettled, I guess, sort of feeling. This card again bringing in the energy of air signs, which are all about communication, which includes listening, and again, most specifically, the sign of Aquarius, represented by the star. But basically the outcome was that the universe is trying to send you a message that you guys need to work on yourselves. Let's get another peek, speaking of the universe, like from more so from the universe's perspective, whereas the other was, for the most part, all from the masculine's perspective. Beginning with long distance, and I feel it is connected to separation in this case. Not necessarily where you're not speaking, but especially with having ended on communication, not necessarily not speaking, but like actual distance. And opening to Ice King, which is representative of air signs, the sign of Aries, sign of Scorpio, and the sign of Leo for me. I think the air signs, it's pretty obvious, plus ice, winter, represents the element of air. Like sometimes you'll see us even referred to as winter. This guy here is very Martian for me, representing the planet Mars, which is the ruler of both Aries and Scorpio. So that's where they come in. And then the lion brings in the energy of Leo for me. Now, most recently, I've also been getting from it Mercury, which is currently retrograde in Leo. And in addition to that, Mars, again, retrograde in Aquarius specifically. And those could be affecting travel. Both the Mars retrograde and the Mercury retrograde could affect travel. So where there is distance, there could be like difficulty making vacation plans or plans to travel, to visit. There could be difficulty with the modes of transportation. Mercury controls all of that. but Mars retrograde playing a factor too in travel as well. Opening to work, which could also be connected to Mars. Somebody may be ruled by Mars, again an Aries or a Scorpio, or have, you know, one of those signs or the planet Mars like heavy in their chart. He's here opposite work. Actually, this week Mars enters Capricorn, which is often represented by this work card for me. Ice King, and this is the karmic female for me in this deck, or the brunette female. She is typically a Cancer or a Leo Cancer cuspian. Ice King and young male. Could be a child. It could be, doesn't have to be specifically a son, but I definitely feel it could be. Maybe that was his mother, the karmic female. Back to Ice King and one more. It is young female. I don't feel that this one is a child. It could be, but I don't feel that it necessarily is. And this one likely a fire sign. Most often for me, this card represents the sign of Sagittarius, but of course Leo, or I guess even a cuspian again, or Aries as well. And it tends to represent the planet Jupiter for me too. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and all about where our luck comes from or not. Jupiter is the planet of luck. I call it the planet of karma because I don't believe in luck. Ice King. Jupiter currently located in Scorpio, again ruled by Mars. So that could be why all those cards turned up together. The Ice King opposite the young female. And now the Beauty Queen, which tends to bring in the energy of Venus for me. Venus, the planet of beauty and popularity and confidence and esteem and, you know, all of those things. Everything that's awesome. So that's why this card represents Venus for me. Overall energy is children. So that may be who and or what was represented by the young female and the young male. I mean, you know, all these cards can have more than one meaning too. Like sometimes I'll point to one and I'll say this, but I'll also connect it with something else. So it could be both. That energy of Jupiter and you guys' you know, yours or his or both actual children. Divine couple. Recent past. Masculine's higher self. Your future. Blocks to the union. The feminine can do. The masculine can do. What the universe wants to help you with, you know, what the universe would have the two of you to do, would like you to do, and would love to help you with, and the outcome. Divine couple. So young female is back. So you guys in this, again, it could be connected to your either's children or both, and the impact that that has on trying to, you know, become a couple. And you could just be in this really sort of larger than life sort of space and energy that is represented by Jupiter as well. And maybe your luck changing. Jupiter had been in retrograde for quite some time, about 4 months, up until like 2 weeks ago, when I was first doing your reading. So that may play a factor. Recent past, Ice Queen. An Ice Queen with her back turned too. To this. And I'm wondering if that has meaning. I mean, her back's always turned. Nice. She turns around sometimes, but it definitely jumped out at me just now that means something here. Ice Queen, representative of the planet Venus. Other, not necessarily the same aspects as that Beauty Queen card. This one more Venus as a whole and representative of air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Venus is actually the ruler of Libra and the esoteric ruler of Gemini. She enters Libra, which she rules this week. As far as this having come up in the recent past, it looks like an air sign may have been air signy and, like turn their back to something, or it looks, and I'm feeling that. But the near future, near future, the karmic female comes into play somehow. Let's look further at this. Masculine's higher self, young male. He turned up behind her as I was shuffling. I think that this is the masculine son and child's mother. And this person is also like sort of between them, in the middle of that, blocking something. Other blocks of the union, let's see. Gifts. I just heard something about literal gifts. And if she's a Leo or Cancer, that could have just recently happened. But also, like, I heard that, but I also was feeling that this was connected to like spiritual gifts, and some sort of awakening. So somebody could be going through that. And when we're in this place of like the universe is working on us, it does tend to block us from other things. Like when it sort of forces us to focus on ourselves in some ways. And the retrogrades are meant to do that too. So I think that's what's happening here. And that may be connected to what I was saying about the travel. And, we just can't seem to get together right now. Hasn't been seeming to be working out lately. And that could be because of both reasons. This and the retrogrades are causing things to not work out yet, because they want you to work on these gifts, or these gifts are being increased, and sort of like to tend to yourself in the meantime. What can the feminine do? She's dealing with some karmic issues. Then boom, and this is sitting here next to the karmic female as well. So you just meant to understand also that that this is like a karmic lesson and situation playing out, and it has to like run its course. Like it's like a chess game, and each piece has its purpose. With the masculine dude here, there might be some drama involved with this woman surrounding him. He should stay out of it, like avoid drama as much as he's able to. Certainly don't be one of the people that's whispering or listening to stuff about other people either. But there may be actual conflict that comes up here. And again, to the extent that he's able, he should avoid it. What would the universe have the two of you do that it wants to help you with? You, again, deal with these karmic issues. It's even mirroring the karma here. Some sort of past love and life issues that have to be completed, finished, worked away. And maybe this is probably connected to all that need for healing that showed up too. And the outcome. Work. Effort that has to go into this. But also may be impacted by, again, the energy of Capricorn. Not in a negative way. You know, not like in the way like the devil of the Capricorn, of the sign of Capricorn or the tarot, in a more positive way. But there will be 3 planets retrograde all in Capricorn as of this week. And that will be Mars, which again is currently in Aquarius, is leaving Aquarius and entering Mars. Pluto, which is already retrograde in Capricorn, and Saturn, which rules Capricorn, also going retrograde there. So that'll be 3, and that's going to have an impact on you and your desire to work on these things and your ability to finally like give them all the attention that you need to. In addition to that, speaking of the energy of Capricorn or earth signs, I'm beginning with the Knight of Earth. Loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. It's time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. The Knight of Earth is indeed a Capricorn or possibly a Virgo or a Taurus or someone likened to those traits or attributes. So it could be sun, moon, or rising too. It doesn't have to be somebody's sun sign. But I actually saw a lot of this earth and also fire. I think it was fire too. And water. Earth, fire, when I was shuffling. And speaking of that, opening to the 5 of earth. I saw a lot of 5s too. I saw this one, so the 5 of water. I saw balance or temperance, which is major arcana card 14, which equals 5. That might be it, but I made note of the fact that I had seen so many 5s. Fears surrounding money. The wisdom to accept help from others and uncertain self-employment. The 5 of earth is about lack, feelings of lack. It doesn't have to be connected to finances or the material, but it actually can be. And it can come into love and emotion and things like that too, like problems from our childhood, fear of abandonment, fear of commitment, you know, just fear of lack, period, because you experienced it in some other relationship 50 years ago and it's holding you back now. You know how humans are, how we are. Well, I'm actually not really human, but you know what I mean. So there's a feeling of lack here, and it's either involving an earth sign or connected to matters of the earth, or both, like, you know, financial, material. Five of earth, the 3 of air, great sadness. So this is, I would imagine, tied into that sorrow and all the need for healing that has turned up here. There's pain that's hurt. There's stuff that needs to be addressed and, you know, maybe cleared away if you're able to. Great sadness. Time to take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others, and may involve a third party. Right, party of 3, not necessarily a love triangle, but possibly. And it could be also connected to feelings of lack or loss. The Queen of Air also sticking up. There may be a Queen of Air involved. Independent, experience, realistic and witty. Objective decision making. Clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing the humor in a situation. The Queen of Air is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. It could be Mercury himself, could be Venus herself too. 5 of earth. And major arcana card number 12, Awakening, or the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot. Look at things from a different perspective. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself in the meantime, while you're getting this break and this opportunity to look at things from all perspectives, which the Queen of Air is very good at. Right, we're super diplomatic, and right, even if it's not necessarily in our favor, we look at the other side, you know, to try to understand others, all the perspectives possible. So that's what you're guided to do here with this energy of the Hangman. Like while you're in limbo or air of suspension, take that. You don't let, you know, that time go to waste. Use it. The Hangman represents the sign of Pisces and the planet Neptune for me. Neptune, which is also a retrograde in Pisces, which it rules. 5 of earth. I'll do one more. And it is the King of Fire. It's motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Also, take advice from someone creative. maybe as it relates to loss or lack, finding someone to talk to about this. The King of Fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, possibly a Scorpio too. Could be here because of Mars, because of Jupiter as well, maybe even because of Mercury. Again, Mercury currently retrograde in Leo, where the Sun is, which rules the sign of Leo. The King of Fire also the quintessential representation of the divine masculine in the tarot. I'll cut here. The Page of Fire, outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. The Page of Fire, as I said before, tends to represent the sign of Sagittarius for me, but it can also be connected to Aries, Leo, Scorpio. The planet Jupiter, ruled by Sagittarius, Mars, Mercury even. But yeah, it looks like an opportunity. Pages bring news. This one brings news of an opportunity for you. The overall energy is the moon with Archangel Haniel. Important psychic insights. Events behind the scenes. Release fears that hold you back. Those same fears may be one of the reasons why the Five of Earth was here for so long, has kept sticking around. It's about fear too. The moon, major arcana card number 18, like the Hanged Man, which was here a moment ago, represents the sign of Pisces in the tarot. But could be here from another water sign too, or the fact that there is a major moon event this week. Crowning the masculine is the Seven of Fire. Defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely. And surrounding him is the Sun. Major arcana card, the Sun, with Archangel Uriel. I just mentioned the Sun a moment ago, and the fact that it is the ruler of the sign of Leo. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. The Sun in the tarot represents the sign of Sagittarius. Can be here because of the other fire signs too, though. Aries, and again, of course, Leo, which is ruled by the real Sun, Earth's star, the Sun. In the masculine subconscious, it is ego or the devil. Major arcana card number 15, which represents the sign of Capricorn. A false sense of entrapment. Being overly focused on material things and negative or fear-based thoughts. So these are all the things that we saw just a moment ago. And remember, the last spread turned up with other aspects of the sign of Capricorn as well, with that work card. Crowning the feminine, it's the Five of Fire. All these fives still. Competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. Sometimes this can be about, I guess from a more positive standpoint, about the need for us to take some sort of action too. Feminine surrounded by the Four of Fire, contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, and the successful completion of a project. Like you may need to take action as it relates to your own, peace and tranquility, and that could still be tied to all the need for the meditation and the healing that we saw too. Finding like some sort of place of Zen. You may need to be more proactive in that area. Could be connected to your home too. The Four of Fire. It's also a card of relationships and commitment. Sometimes even marriage. Whatever. Anything that could bring you this kind of peace or happiness, contentment, could be represented by the Four of Fire. The fours are, about our foundations. So, like our, actual day-to-day life, on what we depend. which number 1 is like a place to lay our head in peace, home, right? It's like home, a hearth and home kind of card. Feminine subconscious, speaking of 4s in our foundations, the 4 of earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money. It doesn't have to only be money, it could be with yourself too. Good business decisions and giving to those less fortunate. Crowning, very nice. The queen of earth, thoughtful, creative, warm and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. The queen of earth is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could also again be here because of Venus, ruler of Taurus, who's currently located in Virgo, but she leaves this week and enters Libra. At the root, Major Arcana card, Death, which represents the sign of Scorpio, the end of a phase or situation. Spiritual transformation. It's time to move on. Pluto, the other ruler of Scorpio, in addition to Mars, currently one of those planets that is retrograde in Capricorn, for one thing. But also, this is indicative of something onto which the masculine is holding. Similar to like that first card that came up, the Golden Memories card. And there was a need to drop some stuff before it burns a hole in your hand. Something that the masculine's holding on to. He may feel like he has to, like he's stuck with it, and he's not. It's not. It's an illusion. And the Death card comes, shows up to say, like, you really have to break this codependency, addiction, whatever it is, and get rid of this thing or person. And the sun shows up to illuminate that a little bit better for him so that he can figure it out and allow this to come to a close. And just in time with that new moon, right, for a new beginning. Solar eclipses and new moons, remember your overall energy is the moon too, are all about new beginnings and a fresh start. So the sun shows up to illuminate this issue, this problem, that he's gonna have to let something or someone go and then stick by his decision and not let anybody like push him around or out of it, if that, and force him to change his mind if this is what he wants. The heart of the matter, 3 of air. So very likely will involve some sort of hurt, pain. There's some sirens to go along with it. I don't know if you heard them. Loss. Crossing this devil, which is the thing that needs to be left alone. Great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. Could easily be walking away from an earth sign or a fire sign or a Scorpio. Let's take a closer look at the 3 of air. Okay, the 4 of air. So there is pretty quick recovery from whatever this pain is. So even if it's like a loss of a friend or mate, I don't mean in the death kind of way. I mean like a breakup. Or just a circumstance, something that you're used to, that you felt married to, basically, especially with on the part of the masculine, like tied to this thing. Sometimes even if we know we need to get rid of it and we need to be done with it, there's still like a mourning period, but it looks like this one will be short-lived, because here I am clarifying the 3 of air with the 4 of air. So it's like we're already moving on. We're already getting better. We're already being restored. It's time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. So there could be the hurt that exists, and then deciding what to do about it in order to make yourself feel better. Which you will. The sun also turns up for me sometimes when there is some sort of medical issue. Maybe that the masculine is having, or somebody connected to him, possibly a child. And this is an indication that everything will be fine too. Why don't we also take a look at your 5 of fire? Although I think, thus far it's indicative of pursuing one's passions and happiness. Like, we got to create our own happiness and go after our own happiness. Somebody else can't do it for us. But let's see. The Knight of Water. Emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Might be a Scorpio. With fire and water here together. Falling in love or wedding proposals. The need to balance emotions and an invitation to a social event. The Knight of Water is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. Someone likened to those traits or attributes. And this again, connected to the 5 of fire, it's sort of like if you take action toward your own happiness, your own joy, emotional happiness, like you're capable of bringing it about for yourself. You've got a lot of 4s too. The 4 of air, the 4 of fire, 4 of earth. Major Arcana card number 13 is a 4 also. Multiple 4s together to mean that one is surrounded by the archangels. So that's very positive too, of course. We're going to further clarify these with the Doreen Virtue Romance Angel cards, which I have right down here. Beginning with Make the Effort, which would go along with, pursuing your happiness. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Also, very soon. Clearly decide what you want. Here's the decide, so that it comes to you now. Make the effort. And attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Make the effort and stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Make the effort and keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Make the effort. Passion, right? Pursuing one's passions, one's own emotional happiness. Allow your heart and your soul to sing with joy. And if you want to look at the video, you will notice that when I finished that, when I said the joy, we were at 43 minutes and 44 seconds. 4, 3, 4, 4. So right after I just finished talking about all those 4s. I think, again, the archangels definitely present around you and for you to seek their guidance. If you listen, take us back to the listening card. Finding a place of peace, right? Working toward healing your energy. Getting into that space where you're receptive to the messages and the syncs. And then being quiet with yourself for a while to hear their guidance. I would definitely call on Archangel Raphael if I was going to work with Archangel, and I were you, because there's absolutely the need for healing. We've seen it over and over. Archangel Chamuel is the Archangel of unconditional love. The two of them work pretty much hand in hand because they can heal together, just, anything. Archangel Raphael is the master healer. And again, the unconditional love. We can attach unconditional love to any and everything, and part of aspect of our lives, not just romantic. So together they can, anything you need, they got it, basically. Engagement is the overall energy, though. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Atop the 7 of fire, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. It's atop the sun is flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. The sun, and especially here with Archangel Uriel, Uriel's name means God's light. And this is about being, these two cards together, it's about you being filled with light and being lighthearted. Again, when there's a need to drop all those heavy bags and the baggage that the two of you are carrying. Atop ego, or the devil. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So devil can be connected to fear and maybe not wanting to let somebody in, but so much, and putting up a wall. This guides him to drop that wall and to, allow more depth in the conversation and more vulnerability on his part. Counting you atop the 5 of fire. Deception. Someone's wearing a false self mask in this relationship, and this can be connected to conflict. So again, the card's having more than one meaning. Conflict for you, and maybe with that karmic female again, because she was sitting next to, in the last spread I did, where she was sort of like you were going to have to address something. And the masculine too. Remember, then there was the gossip on his side. Again, she may be a Cancer or a Leo or a Cuspian, like a Leo, Cancer, Cuspian. Atop the 4 of fire. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So you got one here, that's the 5 of fire. That's somebody trying to interrupt your peace. But it also can mean there's a need for you to pursue your own peace and happiness. Right? Be active and proactive. 5 of fire, card of action for me. But this is also a red flag. The 4 of fire, and it's a very beautiful one, and it's again about peace and contentment and happiness and joy and everything that's awesome. So keep that in mind and note that's the prize and what you have to defend. Atop the 4 of earth, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectation. Atop the Queen of earth, unrequited love. She may be with whom there's a breakup. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. That may be what has to be allowed to die. But after each death, there is a rebirth, there's a new start, there's something else that's coming, and whatever that is worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. And at the heart of the matter, atop the 4 of air, which was atop the 3 of air, reconciliation. Oh, maybe it's a real separation that you guys have been going through. I know I wasn't able to put up the reading that had started for you before. I just said this wasn't meant to do a reading for you, I guess, until now. And maybe this is why. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So again, where there had been pain, hurt, loss, breakup even, restoration, recovery from that. The sun shining on it again, once again, and like death to the old energy that was connected to it, and there and new energy coming. It will be worth the wait. Further advice to the masculine, the gateway. And this is what I was going to, remember I said, I was going to do another spread. I was about to look and see what was up with regard to the gateway for the two of you. And then something said, wait, like, just do this other spread instead. Because I think I needed to see that there were a few things going on, and there was a need for each of you separately to do some work on your own. And then in the next spread, it came up that you needed to be a part to work on because your gifts were being increased. So again, working on yourself. And now this is showing up again. So the masculine being prepped for the gateway. Sure, you will go as well. Still possibly some issues from your past that you need to work on, maybe connected to the earth energy and like the 5 of earth, the lack or the fears from past situations, past relationships, or even your upbringing, and needing to address those. This also again brings in the energy of air, earth, and water, and of the air element, most specifically Aquarius, yet again, with the star being located here on this child above every like communication center, the third eye chakra, the crown chakra, the throat chakra. The star represents the sign of Aquarius. And the masculine, speaking of queens of air, it is the beauty queen. So him right now feeling better about himself than he had for a while maybe, and in the past he'll be having begun to move away from some stuff, and the sun's shining on him again. This is about being confident and your esteem being picked up, breaking out of your fear patterns, and just feeling good, having good energy around you. This could be brought on by the activity with Venus this week. For you, from the hashtag Creepy Deck, True Gem. So again, about knowing one's worth and value, and the same thing about the union, and feeling deserving, because that can come into play too with the energy of like the 5 of earth. Like you just don't feel like you deserve it. You feel you're surrounded by lack because that's what's meant for you, and that's not true. Also, this could be connected to an actual Gemini, or to the energy of both Venus or Mercury, rulers of Gemini. From the romance angels to the masculine, new love, a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So I just said a moment ago that with the death, something old goes away and something new or new energy shows up. Also, I said with the sun, right, with a solar eclipse, and with the moon, a new moon is new beginnings, and that includes new energy as it relates to love too. The romance angels, separation, time apart from your partners on the horizon. I think that's what's coming to an end, actually. And when I see separation and reconciliation together in the same spread on the table at the same time, it is always similar to the moon and the sun both being here, right? The moon can be about things being hidden, but the sun illuminates them. They sort of negate each other, and it's a reminder that it's all just an illusion anyway. It's going away. And speaking of that Five of Earth, it is now on the side of the masculine, fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment, which are maybe things that he's going through with, again, the devil here and the Queen of Earth here, because all these cards can have more than one meaning, but he shouldn't have to be concerned with that much longer, because that is an area that's being restored too. That Queen of Earth sits here right above the Four of Air, which is about recovery and restoration and being made whole. And for you, lastly, Justice. Here's your 8-11. So he got a card about the gateway, and now here is yours on your side. Indication that you guys need to be ready in the coming days for change, fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right and stand up for your beliefs. Major Arcana card Justice represents the planet Venus and the sign of Libra, which she rules and where she will be located as of Monday, the 6th. I hope that you have enjoyed your reading and find it helpful. If you want to get, not only get the healing, but get it from me, you know how to reach me. And we're friends on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So, I'll talk to you soon if you choose. Namaste, Angel.